Hello and welcome to Did You Know Gaming Extra. The Virtual Boy has a reputation for being, generally speaking, not good. It sold poorly and had very few games. Nintendo released barely any titles from their major franchises on the system, and those that were released felt subpar. One series that had no love on the console was Metroid, though that's not really surprising since it was often ignored until recently. However, Samus has a pretty cool appearance in the game Galactic Pinball. The Cosmic stage features a hidden bonus level. To access the stage, the player must hit their ball into the top right of the board, start the bumper clash sequence, and then break all of the bumpers. An S symbol from Super Metroid will then replace the bumpers, and the ball will transform into Samus's ship. An audio cue will say, "Roger, Samus," and the Super Metroid theme will begin to play. The player must then shoot all of the on-screen enemies, including Metroids. Speaking of pinball, an interesting and somewhat controversial statement once came from a pinball games developer. The developer in question is Stuart Gilray, director of Pinball Challenge Deluxe on the Game Boy Advance. Due to a hardware issue, Pinball Challenge Deluxe would fail to save any data once it was turned off, even though a save feature was coded into the game. After being contacted by a member of the now-defunct Pocket Heaven forums, Gilray stated, "We created the game to allow saves, etc. But for some reason, I'm guessing budgetary, Ubisoft at the last minute decided to not manufacture the game with EEPROM save memory." He also went on to say that the game is capable of saving if played through the use of a flash cartridge, which was commonly used for pirating games. This led to Gilray's controversial statement, which was, "Oddly enough, I encourage people that play Pinball Challenge Deluxe to play it on a backup cart, just so to allow saving." It seems that developers who have somewhat condoned piracy aren't that rare when it comes to pinball devs. Digital Illusions was a successful developer who made multiple pinball titles, including Pinball Dreams, Pinball Fantasies, and Pinball Illusions, and later became the EA studio DICE. One of Digital Illusions' co-founders, Andreas Axelsson, got into games partly because of piracy, which at the time made games more accessible. In an interview with Lemon Amiga, Axelsson said, "15 years ago, there was no internet to speak of, very few game magazines, and even fewer places you could buy games. I would probably never have become so interested in games if I hadn't had access to cracks. On the other hand, when Pinball Dreams was released, I formatted every single crack I had, and started buying everything. Today though, you can buy almost everything from anywhere, so I think the excuse of availability holds less today." For today's random trivia, we wanted to show you a little something from the Klonoa series. For the remake of the original game on the Nintendo Wii, the team considered a special redesign for the title's North American release. The design featured Klonoa without his iconic hat, and a different set of ears. Several of the original game's developers came back for the project, and they apparently thought that Klonoa's design was a bit old-fashioned and in need of a change. The concept was entirely scrapped, however, due to negative reception from both critics and fans alike. Some even comparing it to Poochie, a character in The Simpsons used to represent needless changes to television series. And that's all, but while you're here, why not check out these two videos? If you like this episode, maybe you'll give it a like, and if you haven't yet, maybe hit the subscribe button to keep up with our future videos. Thank you very much.